Hi everyone, my name is Srishti Rajveer, and here I am representing Hyperbots. I am here working as a digital transformation consultant, and I am joined with Juan Maes today. So, just a little bit about Juan Maes. He is the Chief Operating Officer at Viewpoint.ai. I'll also touch a little bit about what he does, but just very briefly, Juan, thank you so much for joining us today.
I love it. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So, Juan Maes is a seasoned finance and operations leader with over 2 decades of experience across tech giants like Intel, Google, Microsoft, and high growth startups. He specializes in corporate finance and strategic transformation with a proven track record of driving growth and operational efficiency. So, we are really present over here with someone who has extreme amount of experience in different domains, especially in finance and accounting, a lot in procurement as well. So, really looking forward to starting this session with you today.
No, I can't wait. I love procurement's my mainstay. I grew up around procurement at Intel and I love it. Been to too many places in Asia, but I'm so happy that you guys have this product.
Absolutely. So, just to start off with, our topic today is why choose Hyperbots Agentic AI platform? So, let me start with the first question. Many vendors sell horizontal AI, which makes Hyperbots platform finance specific instead of generic.
So I'll tell you, the company I work for now, it's everyone thinks AI is everywhere, which it's not. As certain applications, but it in some ways it doesn't. So if I were to say about Hyperbots specifically, it's purpose built, and that's important. When you understand the user, you understand the requirements. But it's for finance and accounting. In proven with a lot of training, a lot of learning, and then all the accounting policies, which we all know and love, like ASC 842. But it's your advisor, it's your accountant, it's your CPA, not like ChatGPT, which is it's just it's LLM, that's fine. So that's what I love about it. And for me, frankly, like bottom line, if you're working in finance, like you love Hyperbots because it makes the mundane task the most efficient and control. It gives you help.
Absolutely. And the next question that I have for you is you quote 99.8% extraction accuracy. And how is that measured?
Well, for me, I just look at invoices. I start off with, we have a ton of invoices across industries, and Hyperbots have been able to prove it. They've done it. And for me, frankly, I love it because, from one invoice to 1,000 is very impactful because it brings the experts and it has everything you need. So the layout, the models, LLM, yeah, it's all that. But it's finance superheroes, that's what I call it. Finance superheroes that are available any day and at any moment. And then, at the end of the day, like, your employees, they become validators. And they gotta, sometimes they have to look through stuff, but it's not that big because it's all pulled from the ERP. So 98.8%, and that's by the way in the accounting statement, because most people round up, but when you got 90%, 98%, 99% confidence, that's awesome.
Right. And Hyperbots has this multimodal mixture of experts that really combines a lot of different models together for reasoning, which actually helps it get to that level of accuracy, which is great.
Yeah, no, and that's what
Yeah,
makes it special. It's like it's built for finance and accounting,
right.
which most other general purpose applications don't do that.
Absolutely. And talking of accuracy, like accuracy stats are great, but what does that mean for the bottom line?
Yeah, it's so cool that well, I've been through different situations in my career, but if you can get a, a great workflow, you love it. But I'll say, like, for Hyperbots, the stats are pretty clear and they've shown up. Every 5% means five more manual reviews. and your accuracy can go from 70 to 99%. And that's an equivalent of up to two people, depending on the size of your books. And frankly, it's like it's not messy. It means closing not as hard, your accruals are not as hard. So, basically few errors equals less headaches. That's the way I see it, and that's what I love about it.
Absolutely. And how does the platform synthesize unstructured and structured data?
Well, I mean, I love. I mean, data wins the day, right? We know that. But data is not anything unless you turn it into information. So what I like about when I was at Microsoft, I mean, I learned about OCR, and I learned about the early ways of like transcribing text for procurement. And it was amazing. But what I love about Hyperbots, it pulls the data and it pulls your chart of accounts, your master lists, open POs, and it overlays it in a way that helps you understand. I'm not an account by trade. I'm a finance person by trade, but the details are there, and it feels amazing. So, like even things as like vendor maps, COAs, like it's covered, and that's kind of the cool thing because it's kind of effortless.
And compared to the generic OCR, which actually dumps the text and just figures out if it has like a structured data, it would figure it out. But with the unstructured data, it becomes a little difficult. That's where actually Hyperbots contextualizes it. It actually understands using agentic AI and can also handle the unstructured data, so as to speak. So great.
Absolutely true, because I'll tell you, I mean, straight like when I learned about OCR, which was maybe 7 years ago, it may have been ahead of my time, maybe I was behind, doesn't matter. But you need the finance lens, right? So the finance interpretation of the text is crucial. And now that we have, simplicity with like all the, different versions of Chat GPT, you name it, you still need someone that has that eye that can understand it.
Absolutely. And talking of, different agents, so can you talk a little bit more about the value of these pre-trained agents on day one?
Well, what I like is plug and play, right? I mean, I'm kind of like I just fell in love with Hyperbots because I mean I've been through everything, but it's like you put in, you got your invoice, and we, you guys can consume all of them, and that's exciting. And pre-trained is not necessarily the way I would describe it. I think it's pre-trained with expertise. Because like I don't, they're screening for stuff. They know what they're looking for, and I love that.
For sure. And appreciate your candid feedback there. So, the next question that I have is some tasks like GL coding still need company nuance. So, how does inference time learning work?
I think that once people learn to work with the app, I mean it's a game changer. So for me, like like if you think about auto ML pipelines, they're giving you feedback daily, like minute by minute, like real time feedback. I mean, that's being informed is not a bad thing. It's actually it's an amazing thing. So you have GL corrections, and it does it for you, but you're still available to review it. But you're very confident in it. And what I love so much about Hyperbots is I love the real time nature. I mean, that's once a day. And then at the end of the day, it's like 99% accurate, which is more accurate than we are.
Definitely. And I think that is the beauty of AI, where really a lot of these areas where you would have errors because of human involvement, that also gets eliminated and the accuracy reaches about 99% there.
Absolutely. I mean, I've experienced it. I can tell you 99% is huge.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that learning confined to your tenant?
And well, I think, well, when you say tenant, I mean, what are we talking about when we say tenant? how I view the application. Well, what I like is it's intuitive and the data is secure. I mean, that's, first and foremost. But, with the application, like all data is in one spot. We feel confident in it, which I love. You can have your own perspective and your own viewpoint, frankly, in your own login. So it's very tailored to the user. I mean, I call it personas, right? It's tailored to personas. Like, who's gonna need what and how do they understand it? And frankly, I mean, what's cool about it is you get your own integration layer, you get your own configuration, which is nice. It's just user specified, but the business logic is there. So that's how I see it, and I think it's fantastic.
Perfect. And talking about competitors, so competitors claim that they have similar AI, but where do they really fall short?
Well, so for me, like, and I'll just say straight up, because I'm working with a startup that's an AI decision oriented business, but end to end wins the day. Don't play in one special place. Like, just do what you do well. So, well, some systems they do, they have an AI layer. Anyone can say they have an AI layer, but it's not built the way that Hyperbots is built, which is built by accountants, built by finance people, everything from data extraction, validation. I mean, even the things I hate, tax, but coding, yeah, definitely. And forecasting, which frankly, I mean, I love that because I think that's one of the big things that they offer. But to me, it's like it's end to end with intelligence, without effort, in real time, and you're gonna get 80% productivity gains. I mean, at least 80%. Nothing else can compete. When you have to, bolt together different products, well, it's tough. And frankly, I'm learning that now. But I love the fact that it's an end to end and it's built by finance and accounting professionals, which is awesome.
So, by the CFOs for the CFOs.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And how quickly could you roll out a new finance process, say, cash outflow forecasting?
Depends on what type of, are we talking about small startup or are we talking about big?
So, either way, how would you say
I'll
it
tell
would?
you, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
like the one thing I love
Yeah.
is when I worked at PagerDuty,
Mm,
small
mm.
SaaS company, they had to be a little bit thrifty and they were like willing and capable. So what I loved was like what I love about Hyperbots is like, hey, plug and play at a low cost. Big companies are hard because I mean, it's just, the buying cycle is just not great. But, with Hyperbots, like what I love about it is, you got your forecasting shit, your onboarding is great, and you connect to everything that matters. And frankly, like, small businesses would love it because you got cash flow data and predictions. Because, well, I mean, I'm in that world now. They would love it, but enterprises would love it because I mean, it's just so simple, and that's awesome.
And talking about giving transparency. So, human auditors need transparency, right? So, how does an AI dense platform stay explainable?
Well, I'm very passionate about this. I mean, I love AI because I think it's a conversational assistant. It's an accelerator, and I learn from it, but I don't believe in it at all. I think AI is just, a force multiplier, and that's awesome. But, I think about agents like with well developed, well controlled, well orchestrated by the experts, like with prompts and everything in between, it'll create great efficiency and automation. And I get that. But the why is what's so great. So every agent, if with Hyperbots, it will tell you the why. and then you can question it. And that's important. That's your responsibility. As a CFO, like, you gotta understand it, and it will give you everything you need to know. And then your auditors, right? No matter what auditor you use, they'll well look at it, they'll learn. But you've been supported by the Hyperbot agent.
Definitely. And I think in this world, obviously, auditability is so important. You need to have an understanding of each and every decision that is made and why it is made.
I think that, the one thing that we're losing is authenticity. I mean, it's just hard, but authentic and confidence in anybody and anything is why I like what Hyperbuzz is up to, because like, well, I'm not saying humans are bad. I think it's just not. They're very auditable and they are very informing, and that's what we want. We don't want any bias. And that's the one. I mean, I love AI for that. It's like, a little less biased than most people, but that's fine.
Most definitely. Now, talking about the other domains that AI can cater to. So, does a finance only focus limit expansion into other domains?
Like, I literally have had two prior roles at Microsoft at PagerDuty, driving. Well, I mean, I led finance transformation. And I mean, I managed like 75 people at Microsoft doing machine learning and everything in between. For forecasting and automation of our reporting, I think finance is the best place to automate. DBA, like, frankly, like, I don't see why you need to. Well, finance and accounting, repetitive task, and there's a lot of mundane tasks. For me, like, I love about, as I, think about Hyperbots, it's like, you guys have made a choice. So the focus is intentional. And I love that because, CFOs will love you if you help them, right? So you hit spending analytics and, you do everything from, procure to pay, record a report. Like, I mean, that's going to be a dream. And there's no company that offers that. Like, I've been around them all. It can't compete.
How has the platform's best in class accuracy changed staff roles?
Well, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I hate that everyone hates technology disruption. It's not disruption, it's evolution. And frankly, like, once upon a time, like, no one, I mean, the will and like the machine, and frankly, well, I lived in Arizona for a period. Without AC, no one ever would live in Arizona. I think technology has its purpose.
Mhm.
And, for me, when I look at what, it's a positive ROI with Hyperbots, because you don't have to reduce workforce. You make it more effective because no one wants to, identify a PO ever. No one wants to
Right.
look at who's the signator. So, what I think is, so the AP people, they're going to love it because they're going to be analysts. They're going to own a dashboard and they're going to manage it and they're going to probably drive more effectiveness. And frankly, with that time savings, they're going to like it's at least 200K, maybe 300, depends on your location. But the point is not, and frankly, like, we never sold it as we were reducing workforce. It was more like no one wanted to do the work anyway, and they can do better with it. And that's what I love about the platform.
That makes sense. It's more about redeploying those people to more value added tasks that they would be doing in the
Yeah,
day.
definitely. Definitely.
Are there any risks with an AI native stack versus proven rules engines?
Well, I mean, there's definitely risks. I mean, I understand the risks because I've been around AI for too many years, at least 10. There are risks, but I think, data availability is a risk. And, with Hyperbots, protecting your data is crucial, but that data access is not the word. I mean, if you do a chat GPT, it's all in the world, right? It's available.
Right.
But, that's what I like about it. I think data availability is going to be important, but human intervention is so crucial. I think people, with given enough statistics, like, because I mean, we're talking about financial processes, which AI does better than any human. It's very methodical, but we have to tell it the rules. So as long as we set the rules, I mean, I don't view a risk from that standpoint. I actually think it's going to be better than human error because it's very repetitive.
Definitely. That brings me to the last question. So, as a final takeaway, why Hyperbots over a household name ERP add on?
It's actually very. I mean, this is the question I struggle with. I think I call it a finance digital assistant, and I believe in it. I think that at some point we can ask a question to a bot, and we can have great confidence in it. But when we want strategy, we want confirmation, yeah, we're going to talk to our people. So pretty interested in that. And frankly, like, when I think about, Hyperbots deploys the technology, the onboarding process is great. They got you through, they'll make it simple. They'll do two different ways of onboarding. Like that, you can keep on your current system, which we all need. So you keep on your current system and process, but they're going to be able to help you with that. And then once you feel good, then you go live. So maybe two answers there. Sorry. But two answers, for me, like the go live is like risk free, and that's awesome.
Definitely. No, that is really helpful. And for a CFO who's working under budget, who's working under cost, and they have a lot of pressure, obviously making sure that they have all the information readily available under one platform built for finance, that really helps them out in their day to day lives. And that delta is really what is very decisive, right?
I'll tell you, I've learned so much because I'll say from the smallest companies to the biggest, sometimes I mean, they need us more than you need. Well, they need hyperbots because they're wasting money and they don't even know it, which is the worst pace. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to be there.
Definitely.
And yeah, when you waste money and you don't know it, like you're just wasting. But it's not about that. It's about maximizing cash flow. And I think, that's what I like about, Hyperbots is like you're helping people deal with everything. And hopefully you grow into different worlds. And I mean, that's what I love. That's why I'm counting to understand.
Definitely. No, this was really helpful, Juan. And obviously, we loved having you over here. We'll have more of these sessions soon. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Good. No, I love it. Thank you for having me.